Today I am going to give you the 3 top stretches that will help ease your prego woes. It's Crystal with Train Smart Fitness. Our bodies start to get really tired and tight in certain places while we're pregnant. Your body is being totally overtaken by someone else and your body sometimes doesn't know what to do. So a lot of times you can get tight in your back, tight in your butt, tight in your hips. So I am here to show you a couple of stretches that will help ease your pain. So the first one is going to be on your back, and we're going to do what's called windshield wipers. It's going to be a very basic, low-key stretch to get into your hips and your glutes and your lower back if you're having tightness within there. This is perfect even to do if you're not pregnant. Or if you happen to have an injury or anything else. It kind of just opens everything up and eases into stuff. You are not supposed to lay on your back for an extended period of time when you're pregnant, but you can do it for about 15 to 20 seconds, 30 seconds to do your stretch, and it's not going to harm anything. So go ahead and lay on your back. Feet are shoulder width apart, arms are out into a T. And so we're just going to have our knees bent, and we're just going to start to sway them side to side. So here's where the comfort level comes in. It's depending on how tight you are and what it feels like. You do what is comfortable for your body. So if you can go all the way over, then go ahead and go all the way over. If it's too much, then take it a little bit smaller range of motion. Alright, so that's the basic windshield wiper. I'm going to have my husband come over and show you what our next step of this is. So we're going to get into the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, and the hips. So we're going to do a little bit of inversion. So you have one leg up and one leg down, right? One leg is straight. You have a 90-degree bend in the other leg. So he's going to take my foot out and turn my knee in, right? So we're doing inverting in the hips. So I'm turning the knee in towards my opposite shoulder, and I'm getting into my glute medius over here. And then he's going to let it go open back up so it goes slightly out, and then we're pushing down and in. So I'm going to get a lot of hamstring, a lot of glutes there, maybe a little bit into my lower back, and it kind of comes out on the side of my belly, right? So then again, he's going to go back, and we're going to show you a little bit more of a version. So there's that inversion again. And now if I can have really no discomfort whatsoever coming back into that position, he's going to then extend my leg up, my foot is flexed, and then we're going to come down in that same position, but I get a little bit more hamstrings in here, so it lengthens out the hamstring, glutes, and lower back. And so what this one does is it looks just kind of like almost like that pregnancy pose when you're pushing out your baby, right? So this is going to be a really good one to get into your hips and that whole glute hip complex, right? So that's that stretch for you. Again, it's okay to be on your back for a short period of time. You just don't want to stay on your back for an extended period of time. So the next second stretch that I think is really good is going to be a cat-cow. So what you do is you come up into a tabletop position. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hips. And it's kind of like in yoga where you're going to round your back, tucking your chin all the way into your chest, tucking your hips under, trying to make your back as round as possible. So you're lengthening out those shoulder blades. You should feel everything opening up, and then the spine through the neck. And then the next thing you go into, you engage the shoulder blades, you shrug the shoulders down, you push the belly out, and you lift the tail, right? So we're going to go through that a couple of times. You're going to be tucking everything in, rounding it, and then lifting everything up and pulling those shoulders down. And you'll feel a nice stretch across your belly. You'll feel a stretch across your lower back. But it's really good at keeping your lower back mobile and getting your upper back mobile as well. Because a lot of times when we get into these weird postures as our belly starts to grow, we want to keep our back flexible and mobile so that we don't have a lot of those aches and pains. So our final stretch that I think is really amazing when you're pregnant is to do a down dog. And so this is going to get into our upper body, our calves, our glutes, and our hamstrings as well, the whole back side of our legs and body. So what happens is, again, you're starting out in that tabletop position, right? And then from there you're going to tuck your toes under, and you're going to lift the tail up and drive the chest through, right? So turn your toes in slightly, open the feet up as wide as what feels comfortable. You're trying to extend as fully through those legs as you can, and then you're going to try and drive that chest through those arms. So you want those hands firmly planted on the floor, and then you're going to just try and lift the toes off the floor and drive the heels down. So again, if it's too uncomfortable to stay there for an extended period of time, just hold it for about 2 deep breaths and then come back down, take a breath here, and then go back up into it again. The only addition that I would put onto this, if you're very comfortable doing your down dogs, and that's not that big of a deal and you've done yoga before, is to add a little bit of hip stacking. This feels really good to open up your hip flexors and into your stomach muscles that get really tight. So I'm going to show you that version now. So you're going to go back into your down dog, and then you're going to take your foot to center, and then you're going to lift one leg up, and you're going to stack one hip over top of the other. So I'm bending that top leg 90 degrees. I can see it underneath my armpit over there, and I'm trying to stack my hips one on top of the other, right? So then you bring it right back down, drop down to the knees, and you're going to feel a great stretch in your hip flexor and into your core. So those are the 3 best stretches that I think that you should definitely, that you can definitely benefit from.